Comic-Con, and realize what fandom was all about, I would have these wistful emotions because I would look at Joss Whedon and whoever it was, Angelina Jolie during Tomb Raider or whatever, and they all seem to the upper echelon seem to know each other. Yeah. And I always felt a little left out because this person would be stepping in on that person's panel, and then they'd all go get on a private jet and go somewhere cool, or I don't know. So when I found out that this is your new book? Yes. Which one is that? This is the yeah. Okay, so this is Terry's new book. It's called Dodger. It's about me.
About the time I met you.
Yeah. Here's right. Not to me, to the table.
I was in New Zealand.
Yeah.
And it was a signing tour. This is okay, is it? No.
This one, come closer, this one's better.
Right, okay. Right, okay. There were lots of people in the tour, I was pleased to say. And I could hear a sort of susurration. And people were chuckling, somebody came down or went to see what was happening. And they came back and said, Sean Astin is in the queue. And of course, being me, I said, who's he then?
You get what he's saying? He was signing a book at Whitcool's or whatever the book. Dimmicks.
I think it was probably Dimmicks.
Dimmicks, yeah. And there was a long line of people, and I was standing in the line, a fan, waiting to sign.
And I thought, I don't want him to get too big-headed. So when he arrived, before he said anything, I stood up. You, I know you. You were in Harry Potter.
I couldn't remember the redheaded kid's name, or I would have been like, yeah, I was. So that was my first experience with the color magic, and I remember having, I swear, as God is my witness, I had this sad feeling. I get sad a lot? I don't know. I had this sad feeling because when I saw what this book was, and I saw this character of Two Flower, I thought they're gonna make that a movie someday, and they'll hire an English person to play Two Flower, and I had that thought, and then it was, I don't know, 18 months later or something. So it wasn't too long after that.
Yeah, I think it was because we thought, well, I mean, you wanted to do it.
Well, my wife came in and said, you're not going to believe this. I said, what? And you never know, as an actor, the phone can ring and bing, you're off to somewhere exotic place. And she's...
Like England.
Yeah. Well, we were at Pinewood, just the legendary, but she just said they want you to play Two Flower in the Color of Magic, and I just said, you're kid, don't bet, that's not funny. And she said they did, and I was, my biggest fear, and I'm scared to even set you up with this one, but I just was like, does Terry know?
No offense to people here, but most of the tourists you see are Americans. Americans tour all the time.
Japanese tour.
But certainly when I grew up, post-war, the country was full of American tourists buying old houses and having them put in boxes and taken back to America and all that kind of stuff. So the idea of the very wealthy but slightly clueless all over. And all these differences, all the differences in the colours. I mean, I have to say that even up till quite recently, we would get letters from fans sending books for people.
For Color Magic.
Well, just to send you a book, any of my books. And they would actually do what they say. They put in return postage. The only trouble is, the postage, you can't do it.
No.
American stamps don't go the other way.
I don't think we have stamps anymore. Do we even have a post office? You guys, how many books have you written? Do you know? Rob, how many books has he written?
51.
51 books.
Sure.
I know. Have they? Wasn't We Free Men going to be turned into a movie? Is it still?
Well, possibly.
Possibly.
Actually, Sam Raimi pulled out of it because he didn't like what the studio wanted it to become.
Did you hear that?
Was it?
Sam Raimi was set to do We Free Men, his really cool book about these little Scottish freaky dudes, and
That's right.
I got that right. But he didn't like what the studio was going to do with it, and so he pulled out of it. Can I do it?
Yeah, right.
You got the money?
You guys into Kickstarter? If we could. So you guys are truly, truly blessed. I mean, you now, a lot of you have not been aware of Terry before, but I promise you, are there any Barnes & Nobles, are there any bookstores left? Actually, if there are any bookstores left, go to them and you'll see, in my bookstore, in Barnes & Noble in Calabasas, in Los Angeles, you had to look on the bottom. It was on the bottom. It wasn't up on the top, all pretty like. It was on the bottom, but there were a good 24, 25 Terry Pratchett books. And
Well, actually, one way or the other, there's always going to be some books on the bottom. That's what books are like.
nature books.
I don't think they can hold much again. They just actually
That's the book is on there.
Library.
We're looking at The Great Turtle was a mere hypothesis. You heard that one before. I know, well, I'm simple. I like the beginning.
The problem I had really, because I didn't have a good agent at the time, I was saying what was happening was
Gray imports.
Yeah. Literally transfer or some colors. Edition, which was simply being shipped over to America, and often quite a lot of bookshops would take them. That was because my American publisher at that time was pretty damn useless.
It's so amazing now. It sounds like you're talking about, the pre-Cambrian era or something.
But then one day, when I had to last shenanigans with my agent, he actually worked out how much money the American publishers were losing, and he presented them with actual figures. And suddenly the world changed for the better.
Do you have any thoughts or guidance before we I give them an opportunity to cheer for you? Do you have any thoughts or guidance for an American, for fandom? You're an expert in fandom, and this is the new Fertile Crescent right here in New York. What
I've come to the States many times. People go come get the water and stuff like that. I think I've got a lot of fans.
in the States?
Yes.
You guys, how about a big round of applause for Terry Pratchett? I think you guys had no shot as well, so let's pick good.
All right, take it away, man.
This is Ian.
Sean, I just want to say that first off, your character in Toy Soldiers was the reason that I hid alcohol from my mother in Listerine bottles. Your character in Toy Soldiers got caught.
Scope, right?
Yes, in scope bottles.
Bad child.
You're talking about.
We were doing the scene, I didn't know what I was playing at first. I was like, so why are they drinking stuff? Oh, okay, all right. So we're not drinking alcohol in the
Yeah, I tried that also. It wasn't my question though is, you saw a lot during the time that you were coming up as an actor, from child actor to an adult actor. A lot of great actors kind of fell off with time. And I was curious how you were able to make that transition, which seems so effortless to you, from children's roles to adult roles.
I think that's good. I appreciate the question. Terry and I were talking in the green room about, I was saying, so are you taking a break from writing these days, or what are you working on? And you basically said that the idea of the day that you stop, you started to say, is like, is the end of consciousness, is what I'm sort of getting at. And I think it's there's an actress that I met. And I said, so how do you do it? How do you keep putting out work of integrity over time? And she said, oh honey, we just keep slogging on. And I think I'm very passionate about what I do. Even if it's a piece of crap that I'm working on, I want the best piece of crap possible. If I'm there, if I turn up on a show, and there was one, I've had a dozen people today tell me that they liked Adopting Terror, this movie that I did for Lifetime. And when we were working on it, I just thought, it did not hold the promise of greatness. But we all showed up and we cared about it. We tried to make every little moment the best we could, and now, some people have seen it and they really like it. So I think my strategy as a kid was try and do stuff that is relevant to who I am at whatever age I'm at. So try not to be 25 and playing a junior in high school. Try and do something that would be relevant to me. And so I've been very blessed. I've been really blessed and lucky, and I work really hard, and perfect.
Great question, man.
Playing a coach in the final season.
Yeah.
That was a good one, man. I like that movie a lot.
I was worried when I played that. We did a baseball movie where I was the untried assistant coach who, because the older coach, the legendary coach, gets fired for political reasons, I'm put in charge of the team, and we go off and win a championship. And it's a true story. And I remember doing that, feeling like I wasn't old enough to be playing the part. I remember feeling like
You wanted to be on the team when you were coaching instead.
No, I just thought, I was in between in my mind. I was just a fraud, my fear. But somehow you work your way into it.
All right, go ahead.
Hi, I love you in The Color of Magic, and Hogfather is one of my favorite holiday films. My question about The Color of Magic is, did you have a favorite scene, like the driving scene or the bar fight? And then another second question is, how do you like being on Twitter?
She said she loved. Could you hear her clearly? She said she loved Color Magic, and she wanted to know if I had any favorite scenes. And she said Hogfather was her favorite movie ever. And then wait, that's your Christmas one. You guys got to see that one. Hogfather is a huge hit. Anyhow, so weird movie, weird book. It was in that guy's head, but there were so many. I loved every second of Two Flower. I loved everything from being in the what was the name of the I was going to say The Green Dragon. That was a different movie. It's a crossover, but we're in the city where we come into the first.
The mended thumb and all that.
Yeah. The broken drum. And there's like assassins and cool. There's guilds and unions and fighting and politics. It's really cool, and I just loved working with Sir David Jason. Is a guy who's been in a major hit television series that's run 7 or 8 or 9 or 10 years every decade in England for the last 6 decades. I mean, the guy is just a legend. And he played Rincewind, who's a sort of failed, say again?
Yeah, who's a failed wizard. He got kicked out of the unseen university. See, language is really important to Terry, and I just love it. So I could go on and on and on. The dragon, I was so disappointed. This is the same thing that happened with The Hobbit. I was so disappointed when we did 9 Reads because there wasn't really a dragon there.
You were expecting a live dragon.
The idea in this one is that the dragons appear when you're close to this place, this upside down mountain, this inverted mountain. If you can conceptualize a dragon, it will appear for you. And so you can ride the dragon until you can't conceive of it anymore because you're too far away and you're sort of out of the special place where you can think of things, and then he kind of disappears. Is that a fair? It's close.
Good enough for folk music.
Good enough for folk music.
Hey, and she also asked you about Twitter. We follow you on Twitter as well, @SeanAstin. Well, how's your Twitter vibe, man?
My Twitter,
you tweet a lot?
I love Twitter to my wife's dismay. I made every kind of major milestone, I make a deal. So I said when I get to 40,000, I know you guys probably have 1 million followers. I don't know.
No.
So when I got to 40,000, I said I'd stand on my head. So I got to 40,000, I took a picture of me standing. My wife, actually my daughter, my 16-year-old, got on the stairs and took a picture of me in the living room standing on my head. And it was stupid, but people liked it. And then they started, asking what would I do, like a trained monkey for if I got to 50,000. Then I said that I would do some sort of exotic dance. I've just now gotten to 50,000 and the exotic dance is underway. We want to see it right there. Oh, I'll bet you do.
I want to go rapid fire on the questions so that everyone can, get their questions in. But I do see a lot of Goonies shirts, so if someone doesn't ask about the Goonies, you always talk about the possibility of a sequel or something to follow up Goonies.
I guarantee 100%, without fail, no questions about it, there will be a sequel to Goonies. It may not be in my lifetime or yours.
All right, let's pick it up with the...
That's just me.
I love your short film, The Long and Short of It. My question is, you talk about Lord of the Rings being so iconic and such a landmark. In the years since you finished the trilogy, do you feel like you ever felt inhibited in what you were offered in terms of what's out there because you're so associated with that role? I remember seeing the 51st Stage and thinking that role was so far away from the sand. How do you work with the challenge of that in your work?
Yeah, I think there's a little bit of that. I got lots of the buddy.
Yes.
The friend, the fat friend, the fat friend. I was quoted somewhere. I read the quote. I'm like, did I really say that? That the sidekick business has been very, very good to me. But I've also been blessed to forge some other roads. Two Flowers is just a fantastic lead character in a story, so yeah, it's a. I've never given in to the idea that I'm one thing or another. So I really think that happens to people when they go, when the performer goes into agreement with what other people's conception is. The public is very willing to allow for reinvention. In fact, they love it. So the real test is on your own imagination and creativity. And so, and the other thing is I'm a journeyman working class actor, and depending on what roles are out there, I go and I do, I want to work. So.
Hey Sean, when you want to do when you want to throw your comedic chops out there, your relationship with Sandler doesn't hurt, does it? You're pals with Adam Sandler now.
It's cool to be a part of his
posse.
Yeah. I saw when we went to a Christmas party. I'm like, dude, it's been like years. He's like, I know, we gotta do something, How old are you? I was like 41. He was trying to think if I could fit in with him and the guys out of the, in the what is it?
Grown-ups?
Grown-ups,
yeah.
So I'll get back. They really like me and I really like them. And what I really want is to be on Saturday Night Live. He may be helpful with that. I need some other substantial
role in order for Lauren to kind of deign to let me do it. But all right, we'll go fast. We'll go really fast because I want to get. Yeah.
Ron, very nice to meet you. I've been a big fan since I first saw you when I was a kid. Terry, big fan of your books. You've worked with many A-list actors, B-list actors. To name drop Blake Clark, Adam Sandler, etc. Is there a certain actor you liked performing with the best?
Yeah, I don't know, it's sort of on the spot. There are actors who you work with and you just think, wow, that just feels really, really good. That's really fun. God, I'm gonna
Sloth.
So I have a 6:45 panel with the other turtles, so I'll come up with an answer for you by then.
Alright, go ahead, man. Oh, I can go?
Yeah.
Hi, I'm Misha from Long Island. I heard in an interview you say that after you went on stage to accept the Best Picture award for Return of the King, you felt like you just won the World Series. I was just wondering, because I personally would have partied really hard after winning the World Series. So I was just wondering what you did when you finally left.
Well, there were parties, man, tons of parties, and went around, and you sort of realize in a moment like that, the human body can only do so much. If you trash yourself, then you kind of miss out on everything. So we were in some weird nether space. I remember at one point, it was like, Paul McCartney, Lindsay Lohan. There were, just kind of people you wouldn't expect to see in the same place. And then I was on like Good Morning America at 5 in the morning or something in the Disney Theater across from the Kodak, and yeah, it's kind of a floaty feeling. I didn't just feel like I won the World Series. I felt like it was okay if I died now because I.
Hi, my name's Emma. Going back to what you said about The Lord of the Rings and how you watched it and you didn't feel cheapened by giving yourself to it because you could tell that there was so much put into it. I'm standing here and I've been thinking, shaking, thinking about what I'm going to ask you, and my heart's just swollen. And
you look pretty good.
Can I help you? That's the only question I can think of.
Yeah, well, afterwards we'll have a hug. Okay, so go hang out over there with those funny looking people. We'll have a hug.
Hey, I came from Canada, but anyways.
I like Canada.
Two really quick questions. First of all, 8 of the 9 fellowship actors got 9 acknowledged tattoos. Where is yours?
My outside of my right ankle was the most painful place that you can show someone when you get a tattoo.
And secondly, correct me if I'm wrong, but when you were filming the wedding scene for Return of the King with Rosie, did yes.
I just heard this whole story with Billy Boyd and Viggo Mortensen. Yeah. Viggo apparently got Billy and wanted him to come around so that they could create a positive, so they could just kind of uplift the scene, and then Billy and Viggo kissed passionately. It's a thing. Thank you.
What's up, Sam? I'm a film student at NYCC Coast, and then I was wondering how that this way you make a cameo in my movie.
Right now? 2 years? Okay. Terry's going to do his panel, ladies and gentlemen. We'll wrap up. One last question. What is this? Wait, maybe. The answer is maybe. Maybe. I cannot believe.
You have a busy schedule.
Say that?
I said you have a busy schedule.
It's actually unbelievable how busy I am right now. I'm in shock. But, I don't know. I never like to say no to a filmmaker. He's going to be running a studio in a month. Let's see where the universe takes us. Let me know. We'll come talk after. The answer is probably not going to happen, but we'll talk about it. I had superficial capillary damage, bruises, and I was very proud of them. And I had people take Polaroids. That was a technology. An image would be Polaroid. So you guys were so good. Some bruising, the actual stuff guy did a lot of really gnarly stuff, had a blew me out, had that Martha traffic surgery, and that was really rough. So, good question. This is what I think we should do. I think really fast, each person should, I feel so bad, I don't mean to be rude to everyone. She's doing the time up sign. So just ask your question real quick and then I'll give a quick answer. Go ahead and ask it one by one and then I'll.
Sean, you're fantastic. Love you since the goodies. But my question is, Ian, what's up, bro?
What was Sheila in Return of the King? Like, I know
a spider. Is that a trick one?
That's a weird generated one, but I know like Dobby was an orange ball on a stick in Harry Potter. Like, what?
They had a big, okay, so in the last one behind you, and I'll answer both in a second, but I just want you to get your, the person behind you's question.
I just have a really, really quick, really stupid
response. So sad.
Could you say potatoes like sunflower?
There was a plasticky thing and it never really worked. And instead, what they had finally figured out by that time, they created the cave three-dimensionally in the computer. So they could actually just point the camera anywhere without having to have any reference points, and they just knew they'd actually love it later. So basically, it was just kind of wherever you looked is where Sheila was. So if you wanted her to be over there, she's over there, or over there, you know, you just, wherever you wanted her to be, you look. Boy, little dash,